Cool. It's got a little suction here. You suction it here, and then you go bop, bop, and you kick this thing, obviously. Perfect. What's up, peeps? Yeah, weird time going on. Everybody's training at home. I might be in the gym right now, but it's completely empty. And you know, obviously I can put out workouts and I can put out at-home stuff, and I plan on doing that. But I'll be honest, I mean, I'm getting bored working out at home already, and the first thing I thought of was about all the cool stuff that I've been able to work with over the last couple of years. Was all the stuff that I've been working with at home. You know, a lot of the time that I spent teaching was in Dallas, and I was at home going like homeschool co-ops and daycares and parks and rec and stuff like that. And a lot of the stuff that I use here is totally applicable for you guys to use at your own place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put together a list of 8 things that you guys can be using at home to train on a regular basis, so you can kind of spice up your currently very boring regimen. I actually managed to get a coupon code for a lot of the stuff, so you guys can not only buy the stuff if you like, but also you can get a little bit of that cha-ching laid off. Yeah, without further ado, let's look at some stuff. So the cheapest thing on my list here is pool noodles. If you have a friend and you have pool noodles, honestly, like, let's think about it. Head movement, pop, pop, you know, moving the head around, trying to hit each other, going fake swords or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff or whatever you want to do. Pool noodles are sick, and they're super multifaceted. There's tons of stuff you can do with them, and they're like $2 at Walmart. If you don't feel like leaving and going to Walmart, I'll put an Amazon link below. What I gotta do. The Hayabusa, best gloves 100% in the market. Crispy clean. I've had these for like 3 or 4 months, and they are incredibly dope. They're definitely higher end gloves, I'm not gonna front, but I mean, you 100% get the quality that you pay for. I've not had a single issue, and honestly, they've hailed in comparison to everything else. They've been so much better, and I couldn't be happier that Hayabusa and I are working together. Use hayabusafight.com/senseiseth. So right now, if you've got the means, heavy bag is a great idea for if you're at home right now. Obviously gloves, if you've got somebody you can work out with, mitts, and then hand wraps. And if you go through hayabusafight.com/senseiseth, you can figure out which stuff works for you and which stuff doesn't. Okay, the second thing I've got on here is an agility ladder. Just flopping out a ladder at home and doing agility drills. I have a whole video based off of just agility drills that you guys can do with a ladder at home, in the backyard, in the front yard, in the living room, wherever. Anybody's not gonna be mad at you. I don't know. I have an Amazon link in the description below. This one is like $20. Unfortunately, I don't have a code for that. I'm sorry, but I have a whole YouTube video on stuff that you can do with that agility ladder. So there you go. Okay, so the next one I can't find for the life of me, and I'm about to buy a new one now, but I don't feel like waiting until I buy it to bring it back here. I've already used this before, so I know that I like it. It's a boxing headband. I'll put up a video of me using it. The one that I got was like $12.99. I mean, it's a pretty cheap option, to be totally honest, and it's so much fun. Gosh, it's so much fun. And I could just sit there bopping that thing for hours and hours and hours. And they hold up pretty sturdy, at least this one that I had here does, and you've got 3 different ball options. So Amazon link in the description. Unfortunately, again, I don't have a coupon for that one. I'm sorry. How do you guys sit like this? I don't like this. So the next thing we're gonna talk about is this thing here. It's called a SoloStrike. I've worked with them in the past. I really like their product. It's super cool. I don't train at home as I do now, but I didn't as often as I used to. Yeah, that's right. And what this thing does is really cool. It's got a little suction here. You suction it here, and then you go bop, bop, and you kick this thing, obviously. Adjust the heights. The more of them to buy, the bigger the discount you get, which is really cool. They're currently $29.99. But if you use my code, SenseiSeth, all caps, SenseiSeth, then you get 20% off, which is cool. Old martial arts practitioners people used to, before they had stuff like this, use x-ray paper, from what I understand, because that sound is really cool. I mean, listen to it, especially with the echo. Ready? Right. So they used to use x-ray paper, from what I understand. And this is a really cool way to, you can adjust the height. You have different types of paper that you can be using. So I've got this too, which is a little bit easier of a surface to hit because you're not worried about the narrowness. So there's different difficulties to it. You can set the height of different stuff. You can wrap it around stuff. I used to put this around a punching bag to like work on pop, 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 that kind of stuff. That is the SoloStrike, 20% off if you use the code Sensei Seth. The next one is our SI stretcher here. This thing is really cool. Essentially what it is you've got these loops for your feet, you put it around your back, and then you stretch with it. Oh, I'm very stiff right now, so this probably isn't the best time for me to be using it. You get the idea. You go like this, you go like this, you straighten out, and you stretch. It has fail-safe bailing clips here. You can pull to tighten or loosen up, whichever you prefer. So it's really cool because you can tighten it pretty easily. You just move your leg over, tighten it so it stays in place, and you can keep doing the same thing over and over again. So a lot of you who messaged me asking me about a split, this is the opportunity. This thing is 35 bucks, and I just talked to him a couple minutes ago. So if you use the code, you can get 15% off. Just use 15 Sensei Seth. Stretch, disengaged. Okay, next one. Okay, so the Kick.AI, I've been working with the Kick.AI a little bit now, and they are constantly updating their app. They're constantly working on new stuff. Essentially what this is, and I have a video where I used Kick.AI in the past, so you can get a better idea of it. Each time you hear whistle, I'm gonna go front leg roundhouse, and then reset. I'll go front leg hook kick, reset, front leg side kick, and we'll test the reaction time. Front leg roundhouse. Okay, there's that one. We'll go hook kick, hook kick. Okay, we'll do the side kick. We'll go front. What you're doing is you're putting a sensor on your foot. There's an app that correlates with it, and what you can do is you can go kick, and it monitors and it recognizes how fast you go from not moving at all to moving and then stopping. So whenever you're hitting something, when you hit that abrupt stop, it uses fancy kick technology. I don't know exactly how the technology itself works, because otherwise, I don't know, I guess everybody would make it. But the idea of it though is you can measure how fast your kicks are, you can measure the timing of them, you can work on reaction, which is my personal favorite. You'll hear a buzzer, beep, bang, and you kick something, right? And it measures your reaction time. And that's my personal favorite thing to do with it. These are $214 US dollars. And then if you use code Sensei Seth, you get 20% off too. This is obviously one of the higher ticket items, but it's one of the really cooler things. It's way more advanced. It's more than just like, obviously it's different than a pool noodle, right? Like a pool noodle is cool. But if you have this, then you can track what you're doing over the quarantine time. So you can have like a physical representation of how much better you're getting. And then also you can use it once you get back if you're a martial arts instructor. And it's awesome if you're an instructor trying to get the private lessons in. I still have this thing wrapped around my legs. And the Kick.AI is awesome for those who are instructors and have private lessons especially. And usually those private lesson students are trying to track something, make sure they're obviously trying to get better than everybody else is because they're taking the private lessons. This is a great way to kind of give them that showing of what they're doing right and what they're not doing right. And then the last one that I have is an app called Cxdy. If you really want to get better, you should start recording yourself doing all these things. Cxdy is really cool because it lets you break down the movements and you can watch it and you can put it back in slow motion. You can draw your lines of where your leg should be and the angles. I use Cxdy to do the reaction video to you guys. So I would kind of like break it down. I would show it in slow motion where your foot should have been, the angles, everything like that. I have no coupon code for that one, so I'm sorry, but it's a really cool tool that I like to use and I make use of all the time. So hopefully that gives you guys some stuff that you can work with, stuff that might be in your price range, might not be, I don't know, I'm not sure, but at least there's options on stuff that you can do to keep from going less crazy, some equipment that you get to use during your workout. The Kick.AI is going to be the closest you can get reaction time with sparring and everything like that. The boxing gloves, you're going to be able to work on that strength and everything. You can use the agility ladder for obviously agility. Pool noodles for head movements. You'll be able to use that for keeping your balance and stability. You can work on actually kicking something that isn't as expensive as a heavy bag. And then the SI stretcher for all of your stretching needs. Wow, this is a pretty cool assortment of stuff. Oh, and then the boxing headband too. I forgot about that. Pop, 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 pop. Can't forget about that one. Now, if you like this and you want to see more stuff where I can help you learn stuff at home, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. Until next time, subscribe or I'll kick you. Oh, my legs, I do not like sitting like that at all.